Coming up next, we're going to get a quick lesson on how to get started. Stay right there. Welcome back to AM Northwest. Well, if you've ever been to a live auction, have you ever wondered how the auctioneers learn to talk so fast? Here to tell us, we welcome benefit auctioneer specialist Kelly Russell. Good to see you, Kelly.
Good to see you.
You know, usually most auctioneers are men. So it's not often you see female. Every once in a while, but not often. What made you decide to get into auctioneering in the first place?
Well, I got into auctioneering because I went to an event. I was helping with catering, and I found it to be just a really exciting event. So I learned how to do the auction chant. I talked to the auctioneer, and he said, you'd make a great auctioneer with a background in music and theater. So I got a passion for it immediately just from, it was the auction bug. You get the auction bug. So I got bit by the auction bug, and I went straight into the auction field and learned how to go do all the auction chant at Worldwide College of Auctioneering.
What's the chant?
The chant is the fast talk that everyone does. That's my favorite question that I always get. Can you do that fast talk thing? So, and the answer is,
give us a little sample.
A little sample of that would go.
Let's say this flower.
This lovely flower arrangement.
The centerpiece is first.
We're going to sell the centerpiece for $100. Let's get it going. 100 to bid on 125, and 125 to bid on 150, 150, 175, and 175, 200. And so it just kind of continues to go until you finally sell it for $1,000.
But at the same time, $1,000, that would be good. So at the same time, you're keeping track, though. It's not just you're talking. You're keeping track of the people in the audience who've raised their hand or their paddle or whatever it may be, and then keeping track of that. Yeah,
there's a lot to auctioneering. You'll see a lot of auctioneers use their hands and gesture a lot.
Right.
And it's because they're kind of keeping track of where they are in the audience to know who was the last bidder and who their next bidder is going to be.
What does it take to be a good auctioneer, you think?
Well, I think for a benefit auctioneer specifically, you have to have banter, you have to be entertaining, and you have to have really good energy. If you have good energy, people want to have fun at a benefit auction.
Right.
So if they're not having fun, they're not going to spend any money. So it's important for them to have a great time. So entertainment is really key.
And when you say banter, is it banter with the audience then?
It's banter with the audience and also banter with your MC. So if we were jointly doing an auction together and you were introducing the items, we would want to have that playful interaction and then together have a playful interaction with our crowd.
Yeah, that's great. Usually when I've done benefits, that's exactly how it works. If you and the auctioneer get along well, you can sell something a little bit higher.
It's true. It's true. And it's all because everyone's having a good time.
Right.
So it's important to keep the fun in it.
Although alcohol seems to help some audience members as well.
It does.
Okay, so you say there's some things that we can learn or do in order to possibly become an auctioneer. There's some things that you wanted to teach me?
Sure, I'll teach you a couple things.
Sure.
The way I learned when I went to the Worldwide College of Auctioneering, a great school, they taught us lots of tongue twisters. So it kind of makes sense. You want to warm up your tongue so that you can really go rapid fire with those numbers. So we always did tongue twisters. So we do the big brown bug bit a big brown bear.
The big brown bug bit the big brown bear. That's not as easy as you'd think.
You'd think it's easy.
Yeah.
The big brown bug bit a big brown bear.
The big brown bug bit a big brown bear. Wow,
yeah.
That's tough.
And then you start adding speed eventually.
Right.
So you can go, the big brown bug bit a big brown bear, the big brown bug bit a big brown bear, the big brown bug bit a big brown bear. It gets a little bit faster. So that's how you start out. You start out with the tongue twisters, and then you turn that into numbers at some point. So the tongue twisters, the other one that I always love is the woodchuck tongue twister, which is a fan favorite for everyone.
Yes.
So how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And there's actually an answer. A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So that's a lot of fun. But when you get it going faster, it's how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So it's fun, but it's all about building the momentum slowly over time.
I know we probably have a lot of audience members who've been at charity events or who organize charity events. Some tips for those who organize charity events when it comes to auctioneers, what would it be?
You know, I think when you're looking for an auctioneer, I think it's important to find someone that is engaging and that will be engaging with your crowd and it wants to have fun with your crowd. That's first and foremost. I think some of the things that you need to be careful of when you're putting on an event is you have to have quality sound.
That's always top.
It's always number one. It's almost number one before hiring your auctioneer because if you can't hear what's going on in the room, then it doesn't matter, no one's going to bid. So it's important to have a quality sound system available. I like to tell people to book your auctioneer and your venue simultaneously because dates go quick on an auctioneer's calendar, but they also go quick for venues as well, especially in the Pacific Northwest. And I think it's really, really important that you focus on hiring a professional benefit auctioneer.
Yeah.
There are lots of auctioneers who will do a great job for you, and many that do estate sales and antique and collectibles, all sorts of other auctions, and they also do benefit auctions as well. So just make sure that they have a solid background in benefit auctions. But it's not always the celebrity or the volunteer that's the best person.
Right.
They may leave a little extra money in the room, and at a benefit, it's your one chance to get all the money you can.
Auctioneering is harder than people anticipate it is, and it always will help your charity event immensely.
Yeah,
I feel.
it's fun, and it's meant to be a fun and exciting
Thank
event.
you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
That was a blast. I can't do the woodchuck wood thing, but there you go.